Hey there, Warren Coughlin here. Listen, I just wanted to do a quick video because the same topic came up in a couple of coaching conversations this morning, and I had a similar conversation last week. So I thought, okay, if this keeps coming up, maybe it's of interest to people. So when people start coaching or consulting with entrepreneurs, frequently they lay out this objective of saying you can get free from the business, right? That the business, you don't have to stay involved operationally, you can get yourself free from it. And what I've seen happen a couple of times is people jump the gun and they try to get to that freedom too fast, and they wind up getting sucked back into the business because all the things aren't in place that allow them to actually achieve that level of freedom. And by freedom, I mean either focusing on the high value work in the business, engaging in philanthropy, or moving away from the business to other investment or business opportunities. But you can't do that until you have certain things in place so that the business can run effectively without you being there operationally on a day-to-day basis. So those three things are: you need a second tier of management because somebody has to fulfill those functions. So you need to have people you trust with the right kind of competence, who share your vision and passion, who will run the business consistently with the values that you wanted it run by to achieve ultimately the vision you wanted it to achieve. Next, you need a high-performance culture. If you don't have great people who are committed to that vision, who are going to support each other and proactively solve problems and create great experiences for customers, then you're inevitably going to get sucked back in to either replace those people, manage those people, or have to solve problems even though you have that second tier of management. And somebody asked me, how do you get to a high-performance culture? That's a whole other hour-long workshop. But here's a really quick distinction that's useful. Think of the difference between renters and owners. When you are the owner of a property, you make sure everything is working. It doesn't matter what it is, you're going to take on the responsibility to make sure things are working the way you want them to. When you're a renter, you tend to abdicate and let the owner look after things. So a high performance culture is one where you have a team of owners who care so much that they're going to ensure that things get done when they need to get done. And then the third thing you need to allow yourself to be free from the business is you need some kind of management dashboard. And this is important because one of the things about that freedom is there's an important distinction between delegation and abdication. And sometimes when people hear that idea of freedom, they think they're going to be able to abdicate, which is just dump stuff onto other people and then wash their hands of it. And that ain't going to happen. You still need to know what's going on in the business and get the right flags as to whether you may or may not need to intervene. And that usually comes through some kind of dashboard that has a combination of both results indicators and predictive indicators. Results indicators are things that reflect what's happened in the past. Predictive indicators are things that may happen in the future. So, simple example of a predictive indicator that one of my clients had, because the culture was so important to the success of their business and the experience of their clients, they had a budget for training and development. And one of their predictive indicators was the percentage of the budget for training and education that was unused. Because that was a predictive indicator that if people aren't caring enough to educate and train themselves, there's probably a problem with the culture and we got to intervene right away. So that's kind of what a predictive indicator is. And a dashboard allows you to look at those different indicators from anywhere, and it doesn't necessarily give you all the answers, right? But what it does is it flags that something has changed, that something isn't going right, and so then you can ask the right questions to intervene. It's like the dashboard on your car. When the little red signal light goes, you don't exactly know what the problem is, but it lets you know that there is a problem that you can then delegate the responsibility to discover what the problem is. All right. So if you get those three things in place, a second tier of management, a high performance culture, and a management dashboard, you'll be in a position to start freeing yourself from your business. But you can't jump to those three things right away. You obviously can't have a second tier of management until you have enough business, enough revenue, enough profit, enough infrastructure to support that second tier of management. And one of the things that initiated the conversation today was somebody said, I don't necessarily want to keep growing my business up to being 100 or 120 people, so I got to find out what the right balance is. And for that person, the right balance was getting to a place where they could afford that second tier of management, producing a certain level of profitability where they can run the culture and develop that dashboard. So it's defining for yourself what that success thing looks like, and then developing the infrastructure enough to be able to support those three pieces. And that infrastructure consists of the right processes, the right people, the right marketing, sales management, and customer relations, and that kind of thing. So there's obviously a bunch of stuff that supports that, but if you're thinking about how do I get to a business that I can sell, or how do I get to a business where I can not be operationally involved every day, think about those three things that you want to ultimately create. All right? That's it for today. Go out there and build a business that matters.